Sometimes it's fun to test dog culture logic when it comes to these type of stories. So what do they always say about dogs? Like when an attack happens, like a toddler gets attacked by a stray dog or something like that, they'll say, well, that dog, he must have been abused behind closed doors. We don't know what happens behind closed doors. That dog was probably abused by the owner. They always blame dog aggression on some owner abuse, right? They never really admit that this is a four-legged fanged predator. This is a creature designed to hunt and kill other things. They never admit that. They always say, "Oh, something happened behind closed doors. Oh, that's where he learned all that aggression and stuff." So let's test that logic and let's look at this Don Hesseltine dog. So where did that dog learn to do all that aggression and rushing and teeth showing? Where did the dog learn that then? Dog owners, you guys always say this. Something behind closed doors. This ridiculous show of aggression. The lying. The dog was lying. The dog ran across the other neighbor's property to attack the police officer. The dog was, putting up a big front. So where do you think the dog could have learned that from? I'm using the dog owner logic, right? This is what dog owners say all the time. So if dog owners are going to say that whenever a dog acts out like this, that it's because of something that happened behind closed doors, well, let's have a look at the dog owner then.
By Conroe police officer who doubted his own safety over ours.
Emotions ran high at the Davenport.
Oh, there he is. He can't give a speech without knocking over public property. If you watch this in slow motion, these three old ladies back here nearly fell backwards out of their seat. Got freaked out by that guy. So there you go. That's where the dog learned all that bullshit then. We're using the dog owner logic, right? That's what dog owners say. Every time a dog does something out of line, oh, the owner must have, it must have been treated bad behind closed doors. So there's your dog owner. That's how he acts. He's acting just like his dog did. He's making a show. He's not even looking these people in the face. He's just making a show. He's just reading off of a script. Reading off a script and getting mad when he didn't get what he wanted. And then guess what? He has to be carted out of there by police. Oh, there he is, just like the dog. Running off crying. Throwing his papers around, holding it up in the air, yelling and hollering at the city council members. Here's my speech, here's my speech. Just like his dog. His dog rushed up on a police officer bearing a knife, a mouthful of knives, just like this guy did. He's got a mouthful of knives standing in front of that city council, blabbering and yammering and telling lies about his life with his dog. And then when he gets reprimanded, he runs off like a scolded little dog, just like his dog. So dog culture, you say that dogs learn their crappy behavior from their owners. Well, there's your crappy owner right there. While we're having a look at this city council transcript that I got pulled up, let me do a little search for leash. So I just did a keyword search here for leash. Just do Control F on your computer, and then there's no results here in the transcript. So nobody talked about a leash. The newscast, okay, these people right here that are narrating this story for you. We got this guy right here. We got the lady here that's telling the story. Nobody took a chance to talk about putting the dog on a leash. If they wanted to help other dog owners, they could have said, put the dog on a leash. If they really wanted justice, they could have mentioned the leash, but they refused to do that. The 5, if you notice, those are down here. Some people actually said that they need to get their dog on a leash. So let's have another look at our dog owner guy. Here's what he said on social media on this public post. He says the dog was playing with the kids in the alley while they rode bikes. It just so happens a police officer drove by and instructed the kids to put them on the leash the kids complied and were taking the dog inside the house. Taking the dog inside the house, huh? And the kids were right behind the dog when the police officer fired. That's a lie. So the kids were not right behind the dog. There's nobody right behind the dog. There's this concrete, which is interesting because somebody said that the police officer should have just fired into the ground. Fire into the concrete, and then what? Then what? The ricochet goes into that window or goes and hits that car. What if somebody's in that car? Ridiculous. And have a look at this video right here. The kid's just walking along. This kid's just walking along. They weren't putting the dog in the house. Whoever this is just standing right there staring. They're not putting the dog in the house, as he said. See, they're just walking along, not doing anything. So this guy's lying. He's full of it. And this person here, watch. They just kind of walk and look at throwing the arms up like, oh, nothing I can do. And within moments, the dog is on the police officer. And no, the kids are over here on the sidewalk. They're not right behind the dog. So this guy's a liar. So that's what happened. The dog was hanging out with a liar too much, and that's why the dog was a bad dog. Right, dog owners? That's what you guys always say. If this dog right here attacked a toddler, people would be quick to say, oh, the dog was probably abused. Oh. One last point on this video that I'll show you guys. So they say that officer encountered a dog before and the dog died. That's one of the things they talked about at the community meeting.
The city also addressed an incident last month involving the same officer where another dog was killed. The city says the incidents are unrelated. And the
incidents are unrelated. However, the dog owners, they tried to make it out as if, oh, look, that's a history of crimes that officer did, because that officer was involved in 2 incidents where a dog died. But just because the officer encounters the dog and the dog dies 2 different occasions, that doesn't mean the officer is on some kind of dog killing spree, the way that Don Hesseltine and his supporters made it out. Communities all over America are grappling with the stray dog problem. It's stray dogs all over the place, loose dogs all over the place, biting people, attacking homeless people, attacking delivery workers, attacking police officers, just attacking all kinds of community members. So statistically, just because an officer encountered a dog on 2 different occasions and had to kill the dog in order to save himself or save other people or whatever happened, that is by no means at all any type of evidence of wrongdoing on the officer. Because anybody, a police officer or whatever, wherever you live in America, we have a huge stray dog problem all over the place. So if this dog owner here and the community members, they knew that already, as they claimed to know that already, then again, they should have had that dog on a leash. They actually used their dog to get all this clout and credit and go fight the community council. They claim in this meeting that that officer killed a dog in the past. Well, if you knew that there were deadly officers out there ready to kill your off-leash dog, then you should have saved your dog's life instead of utilizing your dog. So when they say justice for the dog, well, the justice that dog should get is this dog owner should go to jail, because the dog owner, the community, they claim to know that there's a dangerous cop out there, but guess what they did? They let their dog go off leash. So we're going to test that logic too, the justice for the dog. Well, justice for the dog, this guy needs to go to jail. This guy needs to be scrutinized, not the police officer. So that has been testing the one-liners from the dog culture. Hope you guys liked the video. See you in the next one.